What's up, baby? I am driving to town. I got a few things to do, a couple errands to run. It's almost noon, and we got some flurries. You can probably see the snow in the background. I had a bunch of snow on the truck, and we got even more snow coming. We got about 6 inches this week so far, and there's another snowstorm coming tomorrow. And I love it. I love getting a little bit of snow in the winter. I don't know about you guys. And we haven't really had any snow. And last year we didn't get much snow. So it's kind of refreshing. I love that crisp, cooled, white, fluffy snow. It's real refreshing. It's nice to just kind of get out, take a walk in. The kids love playing in it. But, after a couple months, I'll be ready for spring too. Got spring gobbler coming out. And that's one of my favorite times of the year. Spring, renewal, life renewing itself. It's a beautiful time to be out. But right now, I'm enjoying the winter. Anyway, I got about a 10-minute ride here, and I just thought I'd put out a quick video, something that was top of mind for me. And it kind of starts with a story about it's a friend of mine, and it seems like things are always going wrong for her. Just crazy, wild things you would never even imagine or never even heard of anyone else experiencing. She's had tremendous amounts of health issues, constantly having surgeries because of the health issues, losing jobs, getting jobs. She's a well-educated person, and she easily gets jobs, but she loses them because of all of the chaos and negative things happening in her life that causes her to miss work or have to constantly take leave for, the health issues. And it just sucks to see her go through that. But, she had a tipping point recently where, on top of the health issues, being in and out of the hospital, losing a job, starting a new job, she also was married about a year ago, and they got a puppy, and then the puppy was traumatically killed in just a horrific type of accident that was just, sort of unbelievable. And then she was looking to leave her husband and having issues with him, and it was just like one thing after another. And it's kind of crazy because when I look back at everything that she has gone through in the last few years, it's like, yeah, I'm sort of not surprised, right? And when I say that, I don't mean it to be mean. Sorry, I'm trying to drive here. But it's like, if anything's that's gonna happen, it's just gonna happen to her. And the reason I say that is because she lives in this constant state of, fear. She lives in a constant state of negativity, and I could just see it. And I don't know, her full background of her childhood, what she may have went through, or any other traumatic experiences outside of what I know about her through our friendship, but just a lot of negative energy in her life. And I feel like it gets perpetuated by her focus on negative things. And if it's true that we create the reality that we experience, which it is true, then that would make sense, right? If you focus on the things you don't like or don't want, or you're focused in a way that's fearful or lacking or doubt, then something's going to manifest from that. It may not be as drastic as my friend's manifestations, and I hope nobody else is experiencing it to that level, right? Those are very powerful manifestations that nobody wants to go through, just thinking of all this stuff, right? But it could manifest in some way. A lot of it manifests in sickness, disease, health issues, right? The mind and body is so powerful, and the brain is so powerful, and the way consciousness is filtering through us is incredibly powerful. And so if we're going to have prolonged thinking in a negative manner, or fearful thinking, or doubtful type lack thinking, then yes, you're going to perpetuate more and more of that which you don't want. And then when you focus more and more on what you don't want, or you go into that victim mentality, and that was another big thing that she really projected that you could see, was that it was always the victim mentality. And a lot of people experience that. But the problem with that mentality is you're focusing on a very disempowered state of being. And if you constantly do it, then you're going to continue to perpetuate and manifest that life. You're literally living the life of disempowerment, fear, lack. And how does that show up? How would that show up in a physical form? It could show up in many ways, but it makes sense. Health issues, disease, right? Actually experiencing lack, right? Financial issues, relationship issues, accidents, trauma. The way it shows up, you're literally aligning yourself with more of that which you don't desire. And I think it's important for people to come to that realization, because a lot of times we're not conscious of what we're constantly thinking. And when we do have something bad happen to us, it's easy to go into a victim mentality. It's easy to perpetuate that negative, disempowered feeling, because then we talk about it, right? We talk about it with other people. This thing happened to me and I don't like it. I can't believe this person did this to me. I can't believe this happened to me. What's the chances of that happening, right? And we perpetuate that energy, and that energy is being projected back out there, and it becomes a vicious cycle of disempowerment, fear, anger, victimhood. And that's not what we want, right? We weren't put on this planet to live in fearful, disempowered states, right? We're not connected with God and the God energy, the Christ energy, the source energy of all things in the universe, right? We're not connected with that in a powerful way when we are living in a state of fear or disempowerment. And you might be like, well, okay, something bad happened to me. How can I not focus on that? How can I not think about it? And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging it. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging something you don't want or you don't prefer. But you have to take yourself back and get grounded. You got to pull yourself away from it, right? Acknowledge it, accept it, and move on. This thing happened to me. I don't like it. I don't prefer it. Or I have this health issue. It's very painful. I don't like it. I don't want it. Okay, now move on. What do you want? Focus on that. I want to feel good. I want to feel healthy. I am grateful for all the years where I did feel healthy and did feel good. Use gratitude, right? Project what you want, because when you start focusing on what you want, you will start to coalesce and bring to fruition more of that which you desire. And it might take a little while. It depends, everyone's going to be different. And this is all like a living, breathing machine, this whole energy thing happening with each and every one of us. So some people could instantly turn themselves around and start to manifest more of that which they desire. Others, it's going to take a while, because they're so vested in being in this negative state of being, or disempowered, or they, maybe they're just in a habit of really focusing on it for a long time. It could be addictive, because the hormones of stress could be very addictive, right? It feels good to complain. It feels good to share your negative story with someone else and keep talking about it and focusing on it. And you're releasing more of that adrenaline and cortisol and all of these hormones that actually do feel good. You become addicted to the hormones of stress. It's kind of crazy. So you could become addicted to living a life of fear, disempowerment, victimhood. And a lot of people are stuck there. So it's a vicious cycle, but if you could start to become aware of it, then you could start to change it. If you could start to become aware of your thoughts around what's happening around you and what you're interpreting around you, and start to reframe it from a more powerful state of being, a more positive state of being, then you could start to turn that cycle around, start to align with more of that which you desire, and start to create the life you want. And we're always going to have our ups and downs. There's always going to be contrast, or the things we don't prefer coming up. It's important to learn and grow from those. not to focus on them perpetually forever, right? So start by becoming aware. If you're not feeling good, then why? Why don't I feel good? What's bothering me, right? Or I have a health issue. Why do I have this health issue? Maybe you don't know why. Maybe you'll never know why. But what's my thinking? How am I spending most of my day from a thought perspective? What am I thinking about? What am I focused on? What am I talking about? What am I projecting to other people? Right? So start there. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Hopefully you find some insight in it. I've used this insight and this wisdom in my own life, and it's pretty powerful once you start to grasp what's happening, right? And why things are happening to you or to other people. So I'm pulling into town, so I hope everyone has a fantastic day. I will catch you on the next video. See you then.